We've got a concert today of pairs and sets. Thank you so much to Stuart and Roger for organising all the technical stuff, and Angie and John and Robert for getting things going. And I also have to thank my pianist, Jan, who's a dear friend, who doesn't want to be visible, but she's certainly going to be audible, for which many thanks, Jan. I didn't call this a quiz really, because it's not really a quiz, but we are thinking in terms of some things you might like to think about. So after the first song, which is just an introduction, we're going to have a couple of things you might like to think about. So quiz question 1 is, which Gilbert and Sullivan song might songs 2, 3, 4 and 5 have influenced? And question 2 is, what do you think might link songs 2, 4, 6 and 10? And what do you think might link songs 7, 8 and 9? Now, we're not making it a quiz because it's purely my opinion, and if you don't agree, then that's fine. But it's something that I thought might be quite fun to think about as we go along. The first song is really not much to do with any of it. It's just because it's lots of fun to sing the Lady Fair of Lineage High from Princess Ida. A lady fair of lineage high was loved by an ape with the days gone by. The maid was radiant as the sun, the ape was a most unsightly one, the ape was a most unsightly one. So it would not do, the scheme fell through, for the maid, when his love took formal shape, expressed such terror at his monstrous error that he stammered an apology and made his escape, the picture of a disconcerted ape. With a view to rise in the social scale, he shaved his bristles and he docked his tail. He grew moustaches and he took his tub, and he paid a guinea to a toilet club. He paid a guinea to a toilet club, but it would not do, the scheme fell through, for the maid was beauty's fairest queen, with golden tresses like a real princess's, while the ape, despite his razor keen, was the apiest ape that ever was seen. He bought white ties and he bought dress suits. He crammed his feet into tight, bright boots. Then to start his life on a brand new plan, he christened himself Darwinian Man. He christened himself Darwinian Man. But it would not do, the scheme fell through, for the maid, where from the monkey craved, was a radiant being with a brain for seeing, but a Darwinian Man, though well behaved, at best he is only a monkey shaped. So, thank you, Jan. So now we're on to our quiz questions. Which Gilbert and Sullivan song might these have influenced? These are not Gilbert and Sullivan songs, but what might they have influenced? And the first of our songs is the Willow song, which is by James Hook. We think it was first performed around about 1789 or so. It's not very clear. And it was performed at Drury Lane by Mrs. Jordan, although she played a lot of other big roles, but she never seems to have played Desdemona, but she sang this song. A puss sat sighing beneath the tall tree, sing willow, willow, oh willow, with his hand on his bosom, his head on his knee. Oh willow, 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 sing all a green willow, sing all a green willow, the willow shall be a garland for me. green willow, sing all a green willow, the willow shall be a garland for me. Sing all a green willow. Let nobody blame me or scorn I must prove. Sing willow, willow, willow. She was born to be fair, I to die for her love. Oh, willow, willow, willow. Sing all a green willow, sing all a green willow. The willow shall be a garland for me. Sing all a green willow. And the next song is by Gilbert, although not by Gilbert and Sullivan. This is from his opera Princess Toto, which was the 5th collaboration with Frederick Clay, who was a good friend of Sullivan's. And I wonder whether the hero in Pirates of Penzance was named after him, because they both spell Frederick beginning with a C rather than a CK. So it's just my thought. Anyway, this is the song from Princess Toto, the pig with a Roman nose. The king of the pigs was a good piggy, but he was lean as lean could be, and he feared what his subjects all would say at the cattle show week on the opening day. He tried all sorts of fattening fare till he gave it up in a blank despair, and at last determined one fine day to make his mark in a different way, a different way, a different way, to make his mark in a different way. Said he with a sigh, the word is right, a very fat pig is a lovely sight, and the judges probably give the prize to the pig who can't see out of his eyes. But the judges are men of liberal views, and it's not unlikely that they might choose to forgive my want of adipose if I came to the show in a Roman nose, a Roman nose, a Roman nose, if I came to the show in a Roman nose. This original notion pleased him much. The king was a king and behaved as such, so he tried all night and tried all day to bend his nose in the Roman way. He tied it down with a piece of string, and he hung great weights to his royal ring, till his natural snout, the story goes, was more or less like a Roman nose, a Roman nose, a Roman nose, was more or less like a Roman nose. It was high on the bridge, and the tip drooped down, and it lent itself to a noble frown. He could also sneer if he felt inclined, for the nostrils both were well defined. There was general joy when the news got wing, for his subjects all adored their king, and every pig walked on tiptoes when he found that his king had a Roman nose, a Roman nose, a Roman nose, when he found his king had a Roman nose. But his sad ambition proved his ban. He was sold at once to a peep show man. His foolish dreams of glory fled. He was shown to the mob at a penny a head. Walk up is a pig-faced child, a knock-knee giant, an Indian wild, a man but 2'6" in his oars, and a real live pig with a Roman nose, a Roman nose, a Roman nose, a real live pig with a Roman nose. true, and cannot be too widely known. The golden rule, let well alone. And when to astonish friends and foes you ill-advisedly propose to gild pure gold or paint the rose, remember the pig with a Roman nose, a Roman nose, a Roman nose. Remember the pig with a Roman nose. Thanks, Jan. Okay, so remembering that our so this section is looking at which Gilbert and Sullivan song might these have inspired or influenced. Our next is Juliet's Waltz song from Gounod's Romeo and Juliet. I've given you a rough translation from the French because it's just easier to know what's going on, isn't it? It premiered in Paris in 1867 and it opened in London later that year, that July. So we're pretty confident that Gilbert and Sullivan would have heard it. The last in this section of what did this inspire is Gretchen am Spinnrade, which is Schubert's song written in 1814 when he was just 17. It's a translation from the German by Goethe. It's about Faust, and Gretchen has fallen desperately in love with Faust, and I'm sorry to say it doesn't have a happy ending at the end of the whole story, but for the moment she's just in love and doesn't quite know what to do about it, poor girl. My peace is gone, my heart is sore, no rest can be mine forever and evermore. Where he is not, dark visible, and every thought is turned to gall. My mind distraught, my aching head can bear no more the thoughts I dread. My peace is gone, my heart is sore, no rest can be mine forever and evermore. I watch for him all along the street, and him alone I go to meet. The way he walks as he passes by, the way he talks, the light in his eye, the sound of his voice like a soft caress, his hand in mine, and his kiss. My peace is gone, my heart is sore, no rest can be mine forever and evermore. The heart within me is all his own. I long to be with him and him alone. His arms around me, and I am his, to have and hold him and die on a kiss. His arms around me, and I am his, to have and hold him and die on a kiss. To have and hold him and die on a kiss. My peace is gone, my heart is sore. Poor Gretchen. You can hear her spinning wheel underneath, and then she stops spinning when she gets so excited that she has to carry on spinning. Anyway, our next song is a bit of a contrast to that. not only is it by Sullivan, which we haven't had so far except for the first song, but I think it's kind of a counterpoint to Gretchen. It's Sigh No More Ladies, which is actually a surprisingly cynical song to be sung to celebrate the engagement of Hero and Claudio in Much Ado About Nothing. I think all the rest of our pieces for the rest of today are by Sullivan. And remember, the question is what links 2 and 4 and this one and the last song. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. 1 foot at sea and 1 on shore, to one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sons of war into Haddon. Sing no more ditties, sing no more of dumps so dull and heavy. The fraud of man was ever so, since summer fast was leafy. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be blithe and bonny, converting all your sons of war into Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sons of war into nonny, nonny, nonny. So now you've hopefully worked out the connection between that one and songs 2 and 4 and don't even need the final song. And now there's another question, which is what links the following 3 songs. It's a little bit tenuous, but hey. The first is from Haddon Hall. It's sung by Dorothy as she's waiting for her boyfriend. And this is by Sullivan and Sidney Grundy. Why weep and wait? Why hesitate? Too soon is better than too late. Ah, yes, I wait, but do not weep. Thy love has rocked my tears to sleep. Red of the rosebud, white of the May, why are ye fragrant? Why are ye gay? Why are ye blithe as blithe can be? Whisper your secret now to me. Why do ye droop when day is done? Is it because ye love the sun? Why do ye smile through tears of dew? Is it because the sun loves you? Red of the rosebud, white of the May, that is your secret, tell me not nay. loves thee. Fear not to whisper thy secret to me. Thou lovest thy love, and thy love loves thee. Red of the rosebud, white hawthorn bush, breast of the robin, song of the thrush, I am as happy as he. I love my love, and my love loves me. I love my love. I love my love, and my love loves me. My love loves me. So our next song is another one by Gilbert and Sullivan. So the second one in our whole afternoon by the pair we are here to remember. And this is from Thespis, Little Maid of Arcady. And remember, this has links with the song that's just been and the song that's to follow. Little maid of Arcady sat on cousin Robin's knee, thought in face and form and limb nobody could rival him. He was brave and she was fair, truth they made a pretty pair. Happy little maiden she, happy maid of Arcady, happy little maiden she, happy maid of Arcady, happy maid of Arcady. Moments fled as moments will, happily enough, until after, say, a month or two, Robin did as robins do. Weary of his lover's play, jilted her and went away. Wretched little maiden she, wretched maid of Arcady, wretched maid of Arcady. To her little home she crept, there she sat her down and wept. Maiden wept as maidens will, grew so thin and pale until cousin Richard came to woo. Then again the roses grew. Happy little maiden she, happy little maid Arcady, happy little maiden she, happy maid of Arcady, happy maid of Arcady. And finally in this trio, if somebody there chanced to be from Ruddigore. With extra moving around of music books. Poor Jan's dealing with all this music. If somebody there chanced to be who loved me in a manner true, my heart would point him out to me, and I could point him out to you. But here it says of those who point, their manners must be out of joint. You may not point, you must not point, its manners out of joint to point. Had I by the love of such as he, some quiet spot he'd take me to, then he could whisper it to me, and I could whisper it to you. But whispering I've somewhere met is contrary to etiquette. Where can it be? Now let me see. Yes, yes, it's contrary to etiquette. If anyone but you thy new, polite and gentle, neat and trim, then I could hint as much to you, and you could hint as much to him. But here it says in plainest print, it's most unladylike to hint. You may not hint, you must not hint. It says you mustn't hint in print. And if I loved him through and through, true love and not a passing whim, then I could speak of it to you, and you could speak of it to him. But here I find it doesn't do to speak until you're spoken to. Where can it be? Now let me see. Yes, yes, don't speak until you're spoken to. And so you've worked out what links those three. And now the final song, which I'm sure by now you've worked out what the link is between them, is from Orpheus with his lute from Henry VIII. With his lute made trees and the mountain tops that freeze all themselves when he did sing. Orpheus with his lute made trees and the mountain tops that freeze all themselves when he bow themselves when he did sing. To his music plants and flowers have sprung, a sun and showers that had made a lasting spring. To his music plants and flowers have sprung, showers that had made a lasting spring. concludes our concert. And maybe if Stuart, you'd like to put up the list of our songs onto the screen, I can explain my answers to the questions, even if they're not your answers to the questions. The first, which was the Willow song, I think most of us think that there's a very good chance that that influenced Titwillow from the Mikado. I tend to feel that the pig with the Roman nose might have influenced the Magnet and the Churn, but to me that actually is really close to the first song I sang, The Lady, which is Fair of Lineage High. The rhythms are absolutely the same, and the chord structure seem the same. Juliet's Waltz song, I've actually thought for years and years and years that's really similar to a Poor Wandering One. Again, it's got the same sort of structure and the same sort of sets of runs. So I think of those two very much as a pair. And Gretchen Spinnrade is Gretchen at the spinning wheel. And I think that that is echoed by Phoebe's When Maiden Loves in the Yeoman of the Guard. So that's the first 4 quiz questions, if you like. Songs 7 to 9 from Haddon Hall, which was Red of the Rosebud, White of the May, Breast of the Robin, and Little Maid of Arcady, who grew so thin and pale when she was in love with cousin Richard as opposed to his cousin. So either they were cousins with one another or brothers, Robin, and Ruddigore with Rose Maybud, falling in love first with Robin and then with Richard and then back to Robin again, seemed to me to be quite an amusing trio. So I sort of grouped those together, and then finally, and I hope it was really easy to link the songs, the Willow song, Juliet's Waltz song, Sigh No More Ladies from Much Ado About Nothing, and Orpheus, all the words were by Shakespeare. So that's our quiz, and do feel free to disagree in the chat and come up with other things. I'd also really love to know if anybody's got any other pairs that they've thought of, other songs that might have inspired Gilbert and Sullivan. There's lots of stuff that Gilbert and Sullivan inspired, and there's loads of music like that, but I thought it was quite interesting to find stuff that was the other way around. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you to Jan for playing, and thank you to the techie team.